Hi, welcome to the Seven Freedoms Frequency Intentional Living podcast with me, Iona Mead, here at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. And so we're going to be talking about spiritual business and life work balance as usual, as that is what this daily podcast is about. But we're going to be talking about relationships. It's a relationship freedom Friday in my role for living an intentional life. If you are new to the podcast, I will share with you practical tips and tools and strategies that you can apply to have that spiritual business and life work balance. And let me just grab my journal because that is what I am going through, my journal. And so I'll share with you my whole journaling process that I walk myself through and I walk my students through. So if you're not new, you'll know this, but I will share anyway. So the Soul Legacy Journal. So this, as the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy and host here at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona, I have this journal. It's a blank notebook and I call it 365 Days of Your Spiritual Awakening Story, my spiritual awakening story, because as we're writing down, as we're living every single day is our story. Every single day is our legacy that we are leaving. So just spending time thinking about each area of your life. When I went through my awakening, I went through an awakening through relationships, many of them. I went through an awakening through each of the areas that I talk about on the Seven Freedoms Intentional Living podcast. And that's why it was birthed for me, living intentionally. So I say it's a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. So that's for you as a light worker to see the relationship with yourself, obviously, the relationship with source, your guides, angels, God, whatever you want to call it, guided by your soul, and then the relationships around you. So I am known on this podcast for sharing with you not only my journaling practice, but actually talking about your vision and talking about your values and then raising your vibration. So it's a very practical podcast. And what I notice is just how much on this podcast I fidget. Watching myself back, I know that many of my students are like, oh, I don't want to be on camera, I don't want to be online, I don't want to be, this is like really up close and personal. And I realized because I'm spending an hour, and then when I watch myself back, I'm like, you're scratching and you're fidgeting, and people have been telling me, my relationships, that I have ADHD. They believe that I may have ADHD, including like my daughter and my soul daughter and my best friends. And I'm like, what's, and my students, my clients, I'm like, oh, I've probably got an ADHD type brain is what I say, but I have taken like tests and not proper tests, but yeah. And then I noticed like some of the things and I'm like, okay. And people don't necessarily follow me either, like follow me easily. And I'm just like, do you know what? Like, repetition is key. If you don't get it, just keep coming back and back and back and back. I still do the same thing. And so bringing all of the tools and the strategies and the different things into one place and then sitting still and delivering it is a big deal for me. So the relationship with me comes first, understanding myself. I have early learning dyslexia. And on the last podcast, episode 11, I was talking about environmental freedom and I was talking about my journal. And I was saying that when I write in my journal, that's like creating my environment, right? And so I was sharing my writing, which, yeah, there they are my notes. So if you're listening to this on the podcast platform or Audible, then I've held up my writing. You've missed it. You'd have to go over to the episode on the YouTube playlist at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success. I just have these notes. And so part of discovering that I had early and have early and dyslexia was me doing my degree. And when I got to the last year of my degree, the third year of my degree, I was like, I had super meltdowns because when I was on my own with my two children, I was doing my degree in the middle of the night and blah, blah, blah. I didn't have distractions. And then when I got with my ex-husband, unfortunately, he passed in January. We had not been together for years and years. But yeah, when we were together, because of that relationship, it impacted the time. Like, I knew that he had to get up in the morning, so I didn't then study in the middle of the night, and that led me to massive breakdowns. I was studying with Open University, so it's like online, and I had my tutor, and I was like crying like a baby, and I'm like, I don't understand. I've done 21 tutor marks assignments, TMAs, and everyone feels like the first one. I don't know how to do this, and it's like after 21 times of doing something, you'd think you'd get it. I'm like, there's something going wrong. And anyway, she sent me for a test for dyslexia. She said it's mild. Look at my writing. And they say I have Erlen syndrome. And so it's optic sensitivity syndrome. So having bright lights in my eyes is like not like great for me, like my perception. And I've got 3 ring lights in my face. So maybe that's got something to do with like rigidity and the what have you. I don't know. But I'm trying to make this brighter. So hopefully it's working because I've got 3 ring lights in my face. Anyway, relationships. So the relationship with you, how well do you know you? You know, when we want other people to understand us and understand the way that we take, how well do you know you? And how well do you how much time do you give yourself to reflect on the thoughts and the feelings that you have? Because the book that I was listening to for the previous episode was Change Your Life, Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life by Bob Proctor. And he says basically that your paradigm is created by others. So what you think and feel about the world and your beliefs, although you're like, this is my belief, like we're conditioned and it's going to be somebody at the relationships that we had around us. So we're going to talk about relationships in terms of your spiritual business and living an intentional life, the people that you have around you, well, the people that you grew up with, our ancestors, etc., and the lineage and all the bloodlines and all the karma and all things. And we've come into this, we could go on for like time. But we're going to talk about spiritual business and life work balance. And I know that many of you, my students, my clients, and my soul tribe are so talented, and many of them have experiences. And we were talking about this on our monthly call. I have a monthly call for soul guided influencers. I call it a media kit collab call. So if you're an author, an earth angel, an entrepreneur, a soul guided influencer, a spiritual coach, and you want to collaborate and build your online presence, then that's a great place to come and collaborate with me. And anyway, and have a conversation off social media on the first Monday of the month at 9 p.m. UK time. And I should bring that up as well, the link for that. Anyway, if you go to the soullegacyacademy.com, you'll see it. It says the global networking hub for soul guided influencers. It is a networking hub. I love it. And so on the monthly call, relationships, this is why I'm talking about relationships and my spiritual business and your spiritual business. And I encourage my students not to go out there and just build a list and put people on an email list. I've got to get a freebie and download that. It irks me. And so we talk about building a legacy, and a legacy comes through relationships, right? And so on our monthly call, we were going around the circle and just introducing ourselves and sharing. And our experiences were just so, everybody resonated with everybody. I never reveal what the replays in there, but like everybody resonated with everybody. And it's just so beautiful, the relationships that were forming just on. And then one of our members, our soul sisters, said, we're just literally a bunch of strangers that have come together, but we get each other, we're connected, and we forget that side of ourselves. And then when you have somebody reflect a similar journey to you, you're like, oh, one, I'm not crazy, and other people around us might not get it, but there is spaces where people get it. And then somebody else said, basically, like the experiences that we have had and that we have shared, like the connection to beings and different things, and what we've seen, like as young children, etc. That people think that we're crazy, basically, like the like lock away the key. And I love that. And I was laughing so hard. Like, I'm so grateful for the relationships that I've been able to build online, because I haven't necessarily had the same, the light, I don't say like-minded, light-minded people around me. And my daughter used to say to me, Mum, like, you've got friends online. And that's kind of like, I've got friends from relationships from years, like since I was 6 years old, and since I was 30. And if you know me, apologies for the alarm, but that just is like, okay, dinner, but I've had my dinner before I came online. Living intentionally, I'm like intending my day. You know, like some people, like they forget to eat as you're doing your spiritual business and life work balance, looking after yourself and eating and doing the things, relationships. My granddaughter just messaged me. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What are you doing?" And she said that she's at her other grandma's getting ready to go to football. Like, it's just, I love relationships. And on a Friday, when I think about my spiritual business and life work balance, I get to reflect back on the relationships that I have, relationships that I'm manifesting, relationships that are new, relationships that are old, all those things, and who you have around you and why you do your spiritual business in the first place. My granddaughter is one of the people that just like lights me up and is the reason why I get out of bed many times, to be able to um, you know, be a role model for her. My mum's mum lived to 101, and I was like, I'll live to 100 as well, like my mum's mum. I wrote, and I don't know when the the deadline had gone at the 15th of July, but I'm not sure when we'll get to know. So I submitted a story called Nana Noni's second time around, my second time round of being a grandmother. And my daughter, another relationship, she's got a baby on the way. But my granddaughter's mum has got another little boy, my grandson Teddy, and a baby on the way. So I'm going to be a grandmother. I've got two, and a grandmother of four next month. And I'm like, wow. So I do what I do when I sit in this space for my spiritual business. It's been a really long journey for me. It's not been easy, and it's not been really fast in terms of the vision that I've had for my spiritual business and life work balance. And I was talking about in the previous episode about homes and about traveling and about, I wanted to earn while I learn and travel while I teach. And so I was like, okay, I have a specific vision for my business, and that is what I went about the business of manifesting. And I want to show my granddaughter and my daughter and my grandchildren, just like when you've got a dream inside of you, to go for it. We're not taught this in school. We're taught to go to nursery, go to like preschool, go to schools like the secondary school, and go to college and go to university. They get a job until we retire and all those things. And I talk about it in my book, actually, that robotic life that we have rather than the life that we wanted to create, the mundane life, right? In order for our vision to manifest, then sometimes it feels like chaos is unfolding, but the shedding of our vibration. So I sit here with the shedding of my old vibration in order to manifest what it is that I have on my vision board. And I wanted to share it with you. So I share in my book, it's called Spiritual YouTubers. See how many ring lights there are? 3 ring lights. Spiritual YouTubers from scratch. Can you see that? A soul guided influencer's compass to leverage light work and lifestyle on YouTube. This is, I love it, actually. I talk about the 11 key principles for starting, growing, and building a successful online spiritual business on YouTube. And so I dedicate, so I've got a GoFundMe for my granddaughter, and I dedicate my book to my world. And then I've got inside there a tribute to my son, Daniel Samuel Mead, and Cruz Bereavement Care. So I say dedicated to my world. Why you do what you do, the relationships, like the people that are around you, and the stories, just life in general. You package it up and put it in your book. You can't really, you don't just have a life as just you. There's always the relationships. I've got client testimonials in there. I've got client testimonials on the back of there. All of the relationships. So I've wanted to manifest my spiritual business vision board, and I've put my vision board, creating a badass spiritual business. I love it. I love this. And on it, I've got my relationships with my soul clients, my soul tribe, my soul family. And so oftentimes I was just thinking, somebody said to me on the dating, I'm on the dating apps relationships, and they said, I hate society with a passion, but yet they're trying to build a digital business. And it's like, that's in society, isn't it? Like, I get it, but it's like, we have to have those relationships. Money comes through relationships, as I share with you. You're watching or you're listening, and that's a relationship, whether I know it or not. Like when we have authors that we read their books, we kind of feel like we have a relationship with the author, even if we know them or not. And so I want to know what you would put on your vision board, or what you have put on your vision board. I share in my vision board challenge 1 week to create a badass spiritual business vision board and bank 50K in 50 days challenge. The relationships, and my granddaughter's on there, my daughter's on there, my godchildren are on there. Some of my godchildren are on there. My soulmate is on there, and I've been talking about this week. More so, it's like, I've manifested my soulmate. Oh, evidently not. And the book that I listened to today was from the 5 love languages, and the 5 love languages, the secret to love that lasts. And the chapter that I listened to today was what happens to love after the wedding? What happens to love after the wedding? Now, I've been married and divorced, happily divorced, many years ago now. But I would like to get married, and I don't want love to go after the wedding, right? But in the chapter Dr. Gary Chapman talks about, and if you don't know what the 5 love languages is, this book, the 5 love languages, secrets, the secrets to love that lasts. So there's 5. So quality time, physical touch, words of affirmation, acts of service, and gifts. I always say gifts last because gifts is not my love language. And so when you're merging it, no matter what relationships, gifts, my gift to you, right? I'm a rubbish gift giver. I think I'm a good gift receiver because I always cry. Like, it does make me emotional, but I'm just not a really great gift giver. Like, I'm not really thoughtful with it. I'm like, I don't know. Like, just I suppose I could learn it. But merging with somebody for relationships, I'd rather them not have the love language that is gifts. So in this chapter, Dr. Gary Chapman was saying that within the love languages, there's different, in the 5 love languages, there's different dialects. So it's kind of like, okay, well, we might speak the love language of quality time, but it might be quality time in a different way. Or like, some people will like, no, put everything, all the distractions down. I need your undivided attention for a period of time, or whatever it is. Or we need to be going out and doing adventures, or we need how you spend that quality time. There's different dialects of the love languages. And so throughout my relationships, I've realized, and even when you read the book, it helps you to understand all of your relationships and the relationships that you've had in the past, the relationship with yourself, the relationship, and communicating that, what it is that you need, and also the relationships from, people, caregivers and stuff like that, like maybe what their love language is. It's a really powerful book. And Relationship Freedom Friday is built on knowing you and loving you and being the happiest version of you, having that spiritual business and spiritual business success, knowing even the love language of your soul clients. So mine is quality time. So I give my time. I give a lot of my time. People go, you're so generous with your time. That's my way of showing you, here, I love you. Here you go. And so doing the daily podcast is just really epic for me. Obviously, it's not scripted, you can tell. We've got things that we want to talk about, but it's not scripted. It's just me. Editing that quality time would be weird for me. I know that people are on YouTube. I'm on my YouTube channel. I'm streaming out on LinkedIn, on Facebook, within the Soul Legacy Academy for my students. I will strip this out as a podcast episode on Audible and on Spotify and any other podcast platform that I choose and repurpose it on Twitter, etc. And so I'm not on all of and I might do some clips and stuff on, I don't do TikTok, but like my girls are like, get on TikTok. So the relationships that I want to build, obviously, and one of the solstices on the call, on our monthly call, it happens on the first Monday of the month at 7:30 at 9 p.m. UK time. And so she said, I want to go global. I want to impact. You've inspired me to do my YouTube channel. I'm showing up and I know when I need to show up and I know blah, blah, blah. And I've had another student say, oh, you've inspired me. I'm, seeing what I'm doing on the YouTube channel. It doesn't have to be hard, but it does need you to be comfortable with actually just having a conversation with you. Like what you say in your head will determine how you show up. Speak out and serve deep, I say. So just having this time to journal, we know how powerful journaling is. Just having this time to journal and reflect. And on the 7 Freedoms Intentional Living podcast for relationships, for Relationship Freedom Friday, and having that spiritual business and life work balance, we go back to the first freedom of the week. On Mondays is contribution freedom, and then health freedom on Tuesdays, emotional freedom Wednesdays, environmental freedom on Thursdays, relationship freedom Friday, spiritual freedom on Saturdays, and financial freedom on Sundays. And if we interweave, because they're not in isolation, those areas. So if we talk about relationships again, I have done a little bit, and we bring relationships into that, your spiritual business and your life purpose, is like, I feel called to make my difference in the world in this way. It's going to be through relationships. So hiding behind closed doors or not ever being confident enough to speak to the people that you are here to serve is a contradictory in your values of, okay, well, I'm here to serve, and it makes us unhappy for not really going for what it is that we want to go for and going global and all things. People try to go viral, and it's just one message or one person at a time. So when we think about relationships and health, what we've been passed down from the people that are around us, whether it's genetically or whether it's nurture, as in our environment and what we eat, our habits, our sleeping patterns, all of that conditioning has impacted our health, our emotions, what people have done, how they've treated us, the trauma that we've experienced or not experienced. All those things come through relationships. Our environment, who's in our space, who's in our homes, who's in our offices, who's online, who's all those relationships. Obviously, Relationship Freedom Friday, source, God, universe, etc. We're soul having a human experience. I was walking and talking today, talking to my sister. Relationships. I was walking and talking yesterday to my soul daughter. I'm working, but I just got a message from my granddaughter. I've been on the dating app. I've been talking to my soul sister in Messenger. Like, all our relationships. I love it. Like, I love thinking of my spiritual business while I'm doing my spiritual business, that I have the freedom to have the relationships that I want to have and the conversations that I want to have when I want to have them. That's freedom. And so spirituality, again, souls having human experience, understanding that, understanding energy, understanding our relationship in the world, in the universe, understanding our roles in society, our role in relationships, like as a mother, as a grandmother, as a daughter, as a niece, as a cousin, as a god mother, as a godchild, as a all, as a mentor, as a author, as a what have you. Spiritually, what we have been called to do, like our soul expressing that human form, our connection, we're energy. So knowing that relationship with ourselves and how the external impacts the external and the internal impacts the external. Amazing. And then finances, our relationship with money. And that was one of the biggest things for me, having money blocks. I was like, oh my gosh, like I've grew up with a poverty consciousness. Now, fortunately, I have a prosperity consciousness, and I'm able to show up and share with you how to speak out and serve deep to the people that are soul tribe, our soul clients, having that soul tribe impact, soul client income, and soul family influence. That's the main overarching goal of what I do. And so again, soul client income comes through serving, and comes through being a version of you. So the relationship that you have with you, if you are not confident or you don't have clarity on what it is that you want to do in your spiritual business, and you feel like stuck or you feel blocked, or that comes off, that energy comes off, and it takes practice. And I talk about the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge every single day. And we do it vibrationally first. And I invite you to come to my masterclass, and I will share with you how to speak to, serve, and sign up your high paying soul clients online in an authentic way where you're not scripted, and you could be if you wanted to be, but not scripted, not worried, not just being you, just being the version of you, the best, becoming even more the best version of you, rather than hiding behind closed doors and just serving from where you are, not pretending that you're further than you actually are, and knowing that actually you're worthy of building the relationships that you want to build. And when you serve from where you are, you look back and say, oh my gosh, this is where I was, and this is where I am now, and this is where I'm going, rather than trying to be here when we're not, and then we're trying to serve people even further ahead of us. It makes no sense. And then we're not able to build authentic relationships. Then we are hiding behind the closed doors, like trying to build a list, rather than getting out on camera and saying, this is who I be, this is what I'm doing, this is how I walk my talk, these are the results that I've got, this is how I got out of my spiritual awakening. If you're going through a spiritual awakening, here's some tools, spiritual ascension tools. I have packaged them up for you, I've alchemized them, here you go. And so I'm able to do that, and I'm able to do it every day, and I'm able to do it authentically. I'm able to just be, right? I love it. So we talk about vision, your vision for your relationships. What have you put on your vision board? I will share with you on my vision board challenge. And again, asking for a requesting the Google Doc. You can request to do a Google Doc. That's amazing. But you can also become a student in the Soul Legacy Academy, and enroll. And so if you go to www.soullegacyacademy.com/vision boards /courses/vision board. I'll say that again. www.soullegacyacademy.com/courses/vision board, and become a student in a Soul Legacy Academy. Then we're building a relationship as your spiritual business model mentor and spiritual book mentor. That's my job, and as the host of that YouTube challenge, then I'm sharing, okay, what did I do? What did I do to improve every single area of my life? And what did I do to have that spiritual business and life work balance? I love it. It's inviting you to become a student. That's me, again, building a relationship with you, not just saying, oh, well, I'm sitting here and I know everything. I'm building a relationship, and I'm sharing my journey as I am manifesting every single year. So that vision board challenge happens on the second week in December at 7:30 p.m. UK time. All right. So that's vision, our values being in alignment, and our values being in alignment with the people that are around us, because when they're not in alignment with the people that are around us, then that's when disagreements and conflicts happen. And I talked about this throughout this week. And so I'm going to do the rating our vibrational frequency, and I've rated my vibrational frequency between a 1 and an 11. So 1 is soul funk and 11 is soul flow. And soul flow is like in tune with your higher self. Everything's flowing, everything's amazing. And soul funk is like meh. And so the relationship that you have around you. So the relationships that I've had around me, like I've had around me for a long time, and some new. There was a dip in my relationship, so I wanted to acknowledge that. I don't feel low vibe at all, but I wanted to acknowledge it in my rating for the week so that I could address that. And so 1 was made a shift in my environment, and the other was, okay, soulmate or not, like we're not, our values are not in alignment, on health, on fitness, on emotional freedom, just being mental health, emotional health, physical health. I would say on health, and that's okay. And so again, for me, building my spiritual business and serving, I'm able to serve, but I also want to merge in my vision board. I have manifesting my soulmate. So if somebody's not in alignment with these 7 freedoms, I'm not going to move forward, or I'm just not going to not say, this is what I want, this is what I need. As I build my spiritual business, I need peace of mind. And so when you go through this vision board and you think of relationships and you're thinking of your own spiritual business and life work balance, this person was like, you're busy. And I'm like, I'm not busy. I move with ease, grace, and flow. And I live my days intentionally. If somebody's not going to live their days intentionally, then we're going to, our values are out of alignment. And so I have things to do in terms of my daily podcast or my monthly call, or because that is me living intentionally. It's not a conventional business, a traditional business. Sorry, it's not like our job. I can go for a walk. I can go. They're not looking at, this person didn't see the freedom that I had in my day to go for a walk whenever I wanted to walk and talk, to get up and do my tapping, to launch my day how I wanted to launch my day. They didn't realize that that is what my ideal day was. To them, it was busy. And for me, it was doing my emotional freedom technique. It was saying Ho'oponopono. But if they don't know about that, they're like, their values, they're not valuing what I was valuing. It's like, it's busy. It's like, dude, it's not busy. Like, we know what we know, right? And not everybody in our relationships know that, especially if you're not spiritually awake. And I wouldn't say that they're not. They just kept saying, he kept just saying, you're further up here and I'm down here. Already there's a disconnect. And so that relationship has just gone. And because when somebody's vibrating and then they're not, they can't be in my world. The universe will just bounce them out of my world altogether. And when they're at a lower vibrational frequency, which they were, which was a doubt and fear and all those things, because my vibration is higher and because our values are not aligned, the universe will just say, redirection next. And so I have a date tomorrow. This is on Monday. I have a date tomorrow. So we'll see. Like, we just keep moving. I've got this vision and we just keep moving. So I enroll students and clients, and people are in alignment or they're not. Like, it just is what it is. Like, I've been enrolling co-authors, some amazing co-authors, and one particular co-author said, actually, I don't feel like it's in alignment anymore. I do believe that she'll come back round, but I'm like, okay, that's cool. But sometimes it's resistance, and sometimes it's, you don't know what you don't know. And I know that this person for the dating was in resistance, and I'm like, it just doesn't feel comfortable for me to be in that. That's your resistance. That's okay. I'm not going to join you. So the relationships that we have impact our day to day, and it impacts how we show up, speak out, how we feel. If I go through these experiences behind closed doors and not say anything, which I could, it doesn't feel authentic to me. It feels like being a fraud. It feels like being a fake. I'm not saying everybody has to talk out their whole business while it's happening, but that just works for me, so that I never feel like anybody's got power and control over, oh, this is what Ionomy's doing, or she's doing this, or she's doing that. That I will tell you, ask me, and I will tell you. As many times people follow or what have you for the gurus, and then they find out that they were lying, basically, or behind closed doors, all kinds of things were going on for years. I remember seeing one particular star, and she was on Oprah's platform, and she said that she'd suffered with her mental health really severely, like massive mental breakdowns for 5 years. And to look at her, she's extroverted, she's what you would not know. And for me, I'm like, but why? Because you could have helped other people. I'm not saying it's your duty to do that, but it's like, and we may have perceived her differently, but more human. I believe. So relationships for me are just epic. So I'm looking down here. I'm looking at my journal. Talks about vision, talks about values, talks about our vibrational frequency. You rate between a 1 and 11. And again, soul funk or soul flow. So what is your rating today? And have you been rating your vibrational frequency all week? And if you haven't, it's okay, because I'll keep going and I'll keep going. And then we'll come back next week. So from last Friday, it was an 11. I was like high vibing even more. I think it was an 11. Oh, it might have been a 10 actually. But throughout the week, it would have been an 11. And it feels like it dipped, but it's more like a side thing rather than a really heavy dip. I'm like, oh, I'm just acknowledging the physical, but I feel really good. And when one door closes, another one opens. Like, I'm not attached to the outcome. I'm not attached to the house, and I'm not attached to the people. Do you know what I mean? I'm not attached to the relationships. So we rated our vibrational frequency. What I want to say is, for relationships and creating that spiritual business and life work balance and living an intentional life, let's set intentions. Let's set our soul intentions. Some people set goals, but what are your soul intentions on your vision board, and how can you plug that into your day? How can you do one thing? So for me, it's like, okay, well, I got back on the dating app and I have a date. And so I'm going to go on that date. It's somebody that I had spoken to before, and he's like, I believe that you might be my soulmate. I'm like, really? And I say, really? Because what he does for a living is fine, but it means that his location fixed. And I've been doing this whole thing where it's like freedom, so values. And so I'm like, I don't know where you see that going. It's like, go with the flow, but I'm like, I'll only go with the flow if it's going in the same direction. I don't mind about the pace, I don't mind about the what have you, but like, so we'll talk about it. What else? To be this is like on my profile I say, do you believe in soulmates? And I am seeking my bearded soulmate. I'm just saying. And he doesn't have a beard, but he grew a beard once. And I'm like, I know he knows it's gonna be a beard. Don't know why. It's not a massive like thing, but it is for me. And so yeah. I'm like, my soulmate just naturally has a beard. He likes his beard. I talk about attracting soulmates on the Intention Dating app. I have a second YouTube channel. I don't have the link to it. If you go to the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success Billionaire, the very bottom of my YouTube channel, my link is to the Intention Dating app to attract a soulmate, or Google it, whatever, YouTube it. And I will have a dating app to attract soulmates. And people are like, oh, I'm like, I don't want to be all over the dating apps that people are, I'm figuring it out, intimacy without commitment, all these things. I'm like, this is not the space. And then you have to needle in a haystack to find your person. It's ridiculous. And I don't know one person that is really enjoying their experience on the dating apps. I've just spoken to someone and said, like, so it says on your profile, you want to manifest the woman of your dreams. And I said, what does the woman of your dreams look like? Like, what characteristics? What? It's like, I haven't thought about it, but how do you know when you've manifested the woman of your dreams then? If you would, I've got a love list, let me tell you. Like, it doesn't have to meet all the criteria on my love list, but my love list is the thing that decides, because it's in alignment with my values, and it addresses the things that I knew didn't work for me, including the love languages. Knowing what my love language is and knowing what my person's love language is huge. And I usually have people do the 5 love languages before they made it paid. I don't even know why they did that. I used to have people do their 5 love languages quiz before I even went out on a date. I'm like, you need to know, I need to know, you need to know, like, why does love not last after the marriage? Why does it fade? Like, for me, it's so love. Anyway, relationships and spiritual business, life work balance. I feel passionate about it. All right, let's express gratitude. I say I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate something in the past, something in the present, and something in the predicted future. If you're new to this, I go into this in great detail. But basically, my soul signature system is called the Intentional Living Codes. And I teach the Vision Board Challenge. Then we journal daily on the vision. And then I have a 2-hour monthly coaching call, right? So when you're expressing your gratitude and different things, you're like, okay, well, how out of alignment are you? You'll add up your scores for the week. And then if you come to the 7 Freedoms Intentional Living, the 7 Freedoms call in gym for spiritual business and life work balance for intentional living, then we'll talk about which area of your life is out of balance. So we want to express gratitude regardless of what's going on. Even if you're having a hard time, I'm sorry if you are. Hopefully you're not, and you're good and you're following along, and you'll get some support. But we want to raise our vibrational frequency anyway, regardless. And we do that through gratitude. And you might say gratitude in a journal. You might say out loud with me. It's up to you. So I'll say I'm happy and grateful. So the intentional living code is the cheers to financial freedom frequency, meaning you living an intentional life and you putting your badass spiritual business vision board together. That's on a certain frequency. There's a code to unlock it, and it's vibrational, right? We're bridging the gap from between now and vibrationally where your vision is. So you're here and your vision is in existence. You just have to get onto the vibrational frequency where it's manifested. So we're going to use gratitude. So I say I'm happy and I'm grateful and appreciate something, again, in the past, in the present, or the predicted future. So I'm happy and grateful and appreciate. So I will go through the 7 freedoms. So contribution. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the contribution that I'm able to make to my granddaughter's dance and ballet since she was 3. She's now 12. I'm happy. So this is in our light work or our lifestyle. Part of my purpose is to obviously be a grandmother. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate health, the sleep that I'm getting. I'm sleeping, I'm going to bed at a regular time, and I'm waking up. I'm actually setting my alarm later and letting myself wake up naturally, because when I was setting it at like 5 a.m., I was tired still. So I'm like, okay, let me just set it at 7 and see when I wake up. So I'm grateful for that, because normally I'm up and I'm wired, like, so that's good. So rather than like waking up and being really tired, is like naturally like not being awake for my alarm, which was usual. So I'm happy and grateful for that. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate emotions. Just being able to smile every single day, like no matter what goes on, I'm able to smile every single day. I'm happy, because not everybody does, like emotions. When you think of the range of emotions and where some people are, for me, I've had a lot of losses in my life, And so I know that mamas who have lost their children, like me, like take a long time, if ever, to even feel happy. I never thought I'd be happy again, and I am. So I'm happy and grateful for that. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate environmental freedom. What am I happy and grateful for? Environment. The town that I'm in, I'm really looking forward to going out on a day. It's a really lovely town. It's beautiful. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate relationships. My granddaughter messaging me. She just says, hi. I can feel her. And she just says, hi. I love it. It just lights me up. I was saying to her mum yesterday, I was like, whatever I get, I'm like happy. She's 12. So she's not really super shy. She's a bit shy, but it's not really. But it's just lovely to get a hi. And she's going to go to football with her other grandmother, which is nice. And her granddad, which is nice. And I hadn't messaged her back, and I know she's going to football. So that was me messaging her back. Like, I'm just happy and grateful for that. Relationships and being a role model, it's epic. It makes me emotional. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate spirituality. Oh, what would I say? Spirituality. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the card that I got today, that I pulled today, and I'm happy and grateful for this card. It's by Cal Gray. Just a little bit of extra guidance, like, just being in vibrational harmony with it. It's just really nice. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate financial freedom. I'm happy and grateful of having the financial freedom to go to Amsterdam and party in November, because your girl still parties. I'm 52, going with my soul daughter and her partner, and we're going to party hard. That is my gratitude. I've done the book. We've done gratitude. We haven't done the Bank 50K 50 Days Challenge. Let's do that, and then we'll finish off with a card. All right. And let me pull up the masterclass, because I haven't pulled that up that much today. Oh, hang on. So the masterclass, the Spiritual Business Book Marketing on YouTube, free masterclass and Bank 50K 50 Days Challenge. So that is going through the Bank 50K 50 Days Challenge. We're going to do it vibrationally first. But if you do not have a copy of my book, grab one. No, I'm really joking. So I'd love for you to read it, actually. And in the masterclass, to just get a feel of it, there is a free chapter. There's three chapters. There's an introductory chapter and another 2 chapters. And the first chapter is called, there's 11 key principles, right? For starting, growing, and building a successful online spiritual business on YouTube with the #1 best-selling book launch. So that is the free introductory chapter. And the first chapter is about consistently going public, the principles of consistently going public in your business, doing live streams, walking my talk, and all the things that are behind that and why. And then the second chapter, chapter 2, is the principle of integrity-based self-publishing, because I know that nearly everybody says, oh, I've got a book inside of me, I want to write a book, but they don't necessarily, and they don't know how. And I say integrity-based self-publishing because it's not just about us when we write our book, it's about our reader as well. And taking our readers out of our pages and into our world, into action. There's a shelf-help industry, right? Not self-help, shelf-help industry. And we don't want our books to just be on the shelf. So there's a 5-day challenge inside my book. I talk about movement marketing, the Soul Guided Influencers way. And so I give that to my readers who purchase the book. It's a $55 course. There's a coupon code in chapter 1 waiting for you. How amazing is that? So come to the masterclass. I've got a book club around my book that I've just started. Yay. And and I've got Q&A for you. If you want Q&A around the 5-day challenge that's in the book. It's in October through to April. So if you want that Q&A, I'm going to start to do the Q&A. If you come to the masterclass, I will give you $111 worth of Q&A for the book, for the 5-day challenges that's in the book, or for my boot camp. Can't say further than that. And for those of you who've been waiting, because I have my seasons, again, spiritual business and life work balance. I have my seasons October through to April. So in April, I'm not on the Q&A. In October, I'm back on the Q&A. So I'll be back on the Q&A. So if you do come to the masterclass and you want some Q&A about the principles in the book, about the 5-day challenge in the book, or about my boot camp, get it gifted. It's $111. And so the Q&A happens Monday to Friday at 7:30 p.m. UK time. I just show up. I don't have any other teachings. You'll have gone through whatever you've gone through, and you get Q&A, right? There's nobody on the planet. I know there's nobody on the planet that invites you to a 4-hour free masterclass, teaches you how to speak to, serve, and sign up your high-paying soul clients, gives you a $111 coupon code, and gives you a $55 course that goes inside their book and gives you Q&A on it. There just isn't, there isn't. Good luck with finding one. There will be, because there'll be more of my students doing it. And then you'll be like, you heard it here first. So the Bank 50K 50 Days Challenge, again, people say to me, Iona, when did we start the Bank 50K 50 Days Challenge? There. We go through the homework, right? And then sign up for the boot camp, and then come with me and do 50 breakthrough sessions that serve. And so it's like, why would I want to do 50 breakfast sessions? Because you end up getting on a call anyway to serve, and money comes through people, through relationships. And if you don't really know what you're doing, you don't know what your message is, you're not clear on your movement, and you're not making money in your business, it's going to come through a call, right? It's the easiest way. Like, you don't have to have a website. You just have to have an online calendar. And I've got teachings on it, but you just have to have an online calendar and enroll people into a group program, and then create that group program into a self-study program. And then you've got money because you've got a self-study program. It's just beautiful. I love it. So there's homework, there's bonuses. It should be a whole course in and of itself, but it's done. I don't have to touch it. You can go to it at any point when you're listening to this, watching this. That Bank 50K in 50 Day Challenge, limitless. Having spiritual business and life work balance, and I'll talk about this more on Friday Night Freedom Sundays, is creating a business model not only that you love, but is leveraged and automated, but it's actually leveraged around the people that you're here to serve, not just from your head. You have to have the relationships first in order to automate your business to serve. Because when you try and automate a business and go, come buy my list, join my list, and then the industry norm and standard, I'm going off on a tangent, I'm going to cool down, is, the money's in the list, and we, come and sign up for my list. I never said just get on my email list. I said, get the free teaching. You have to put your name. You're becoming a student in the Soul Legacy Academy. But that whole get on my list, and out of every 100 people, you get one client. That's not my stats. My stats are not that at all, because I don't put people just on a list. And so for every 100, you get one client. So to get 10 clients, you have to reach 1,000 people, but you have to reach more than that, because not 1,000 people go in and sign up for this freebie. You say you've got a 50% conversion rate. That's 2,000 people that you need to reach in order to get 10 clients. Not really. So let's do the Bank 50 Day Challenge. It just is not going to, and then there's not going to be all at once. You're not going to reach those 2,000 people overnight. And even if you paid for ads, you still are not reaching 2,000 people immediately. You're just not. Like Alex Samosi did this whole live, and he took 4 years to thing. And then he reached I think he had 60,000, 70,000 people on his live on YouTube. It was, that is a genius move. Love it. Anyway, let's do the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge. So the soul income game is what I call it. So we're going to do this vibrationally first, and then you're going to be like, oh, it's safe to have money. My nervous system is okay. And I want to have experiences in life. So actually, I'm a person who has a spiritual business, and my spiritual business success, because it's at Soul Legacy TV, spiritual business success. Your success is having that spiritual business and life work balance, but also receiving the money, right? Okay. So this journal is a magical journal. So it's improving your prosperity, going from a poverty consciousness to a prosperity consciousness, right? We want to do that because we know consciousness, we know that's everything. That's what creates our life. So the Soul Legacy Journal gives you £1,000 or dollars every single day. Every day is soul client income. So imagine that you have got clients coming into your business, paying you. Imagine you've got a button. I've got a button. That's an enrollment button. It's a free for the masterclass, but I've got my boot camp. I've got $55 off. I've got my, right? So soul client income. So how would people pay you, and how much would they pay you? I talk about this in the book. So imagine that you've got clients coming to you every single day. So you've got £1,000 of dollars, euros. For me, that's 2 boot campers, or I like to carry over my vibrational money for up to Sunday for 7 days. So we tie 10% to a worthy cause. And again, that's for Compassionate Friends. It's a bereavement charity, which I'm a grief companion volunteer. A one-on-one call that I have every single week. And I tithe my $100, my vibrational money. And so we spend the vibrational money on whatever it is that you want to spend it on throughout the week. And so if you want a chunk of money to spend on a bigger purchase, Like, I've spent my money on Amsterdam. Like, I need to go back and do this again for when I go to Amsterdam and have a look and do the research. My soul daughter and her partner were like, we've got it. I'm going to have a look myself, and spending that vibrational money. So on Sunday, on Financial Freedom Sunday here on the Seven Freedoms Intentional Living podcast, I will talk about what I've spent my vibrational money on. And it's fun. It's fun stuff. So you're having fun with money. You're making it a game. All of your bills are paid. All of your taxes are paid. All of your savings are done. You don't have to hold this vibrational money. You come from that prosperous space, like really feeling it, because in order for it to manifest, before it manifests, we've got to feel it. We've got to be in vibrational alignment to that timeline, right? To that reality that's already manifested. And so we carry over the money. So on a Sunday, I will spend my vibrational money voucher. But what would you spend your money on today? Vibrationally, write it down in your journal, post it in the vision board group on Facebook. There's one on Telegram, or come to my 2-hour monthly coaching call, and I will support you through this. If you're like, I don't know, I'm stuck, you can go to the Vision Board Challenge, sign in. I have a 2-hour monthly coaching call. It's $77. If you come a month, if you come to the masterclass, I will share with you how I give that to my students. That's $77 a month. I give an entire year of coaching around spiritual business and life work balance. Is epic. Just 2 hours. It's a group call. Completely change your life. Do the vibrational money voucher, because you're not ignoring money. In your spiritual business, it's like, yeah, but I just want to serve clients, and I'm doing it. And it's like, then we're resentful because we're doing it and we're doing it for free. And then we're like, well, how do I make the money? And I need this money faster, and blah, 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 blah. And then it's like, we know we've got money blocks, and then we don't like marketing, and then we don't like business, but we want to serve. And then we're like, nobody's paying me, and they're not paying me enough. And we have decided what our prices are, and we've decided to give everything away for free. So it's our reality that we're creating now by the decisions and the subconscious belief that is going on. And I laugh because that is exactly where I was. And it's just like, it's not the best place to build your business when you're in fear of success, in fear of failure, or fear of selling. It just doesn't work. So that is what I would say. That is it. The card for today. Let me see. Okay, Lady Nada. And I will leave you with this. Heart Awakening. This is for Fridays. Oh gosh, I'm really dark. Hang on. For Cow Grey, Keepers of the Light. Awaken to acceptance and divine love. Give and receive in balance. And that's what this whole episode has been about, right? Giving and receiving in balance. Is not just giving your gifts out there, but actually receiving the financial freedom as a result. Like, it's beautiful. So Lady Nada is said to be another incarnation of Mary Magdalene. But even if she is, the energies are slightly different. Lady Nada is a mighty spiritual priestess of love who once existed in the land of Atlantis. She is the light force that helps us awakening to our heart to divine love, with the divine love we deserve. The light keeper, whose essence allows the light within our heart to expand, revealing a true, real, naked, and vulnerable aspect of our soul. I love that. And so it's Relationship Freedom Friday. And so I've been pulling my cards. The keeper of the light. I don't have the whole deck here. I need to go get the rest of the deck. But every single day I ask, what is it that the card for today relating to the area of our life? And here we are. So it says, she brings an opportunity to experience divine love, whether through a relationship, adventure, or experience. Yay! The cave extended message, the cave of your heart is opening wide for you to experience divine love. Yes, can I get an amen? You have an opportunity to overcome past pain, heartbreaks, and letdowns. Oh, finally. I've got a date tomorrow, just saying. This is a wonderful time to cherish and love yourself, and then allow yourself to be cherished and loved by others. Oh, that's beautiful. If you feel love revealing itself clearly in your heart, have courage and move into the state of trust. You are reminded that when true love is present, when divine love is present, there are no obstacles to overcome it. To overcome, it will be there, clear, pure, real for you to experience. Your relationships are being brought in harmony on all levels of your life. Give and receive love. Give and receive divine love with yourself and all those around you. I think that is so beautiful for Relationship Freedom Friday. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. That is it for this episode of the Seven Freedoms Intentional Living podcast, Spiritual Business Life Work Balance with me, Iona Mead. Thank you for joining me. And for those of you who are hopping in and out, hopefully you've found value in today and throughout this week. Tomorrow is Spiritual Freedom Saturday, and I hope that you will join me. All right, be blessed in your soul purpose. Big love. I'll see you on the next